playing the chase Winnie game out there. So Winchester coming down to the wire. I'm going to say he's going to take this in the bag.
Yeah, Winchester is strong. I tell you what, the Australian contingent has come out here. So far, the story of this event, from what we've seen out in the water in the men's, has been the Puerto Ricans and the Australians. Those have been the two strong forces. We've seen solid performance from Jeff Hubbard in his first heat. It's been interesting. I love the international mix, but right now it seems like the Australian contingent and the Puerto Rican contingent are going to be butting heads throughout the leaderboard rounds and possibly into the man-on-man rounds.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised to see a local guy make it to the final and possibly win this event, only because this is their backyard and they have the support of the entire island behind them. So it's going to be interesting how the top 16 out of the first 3 rounds of the leaderboard rounds are going to pan out. I would love to see all 6 of the Puerto Ricans advance out, but they're going against some tough guys. I mean, Jeff Hubbard is one of them. Winnie, Kingy, Amaury, all of these guys are going for the same thing.
Well,
yeah,
one of the great things about the Puerto Rican contingent is they show up, whether it's Mexico or here on their home turf. And you know what? Here on the home turf, not only do they have great waves, but they have great scenery. Here you can see up and riding in white. That's
Michael Novi.
Michael Novi up and riding on this one. And he's going to duck out on that one. I was talking about the scenery. You've got the ocean here. You've got the mountains. Unbelievable. My boy here, Manny, he got a taste of the mountains the other day.
That's right. Benefit that, oh, wait, we may have... Yes, this is it. We got the clip. The tourism board actually hooked us up with a tour down, up in the mountains, and the Snakes and Ladders guy produced this pretty cool video clip. I had the GoPro helmet, and this zip line, the longest zip line in the world, they call it the Beast. And you know what? This is the closest you can get to flying, people. 1 minute of full adrenaline flying over the canopy of the Puerto Rican jungle. And the beauty about it, you got 2 cable lines, one next to the other, and there's our cameraman, Todd Bonds, and he was able to get some pretty cool footage out here.
And here's Manny doing his best Superman impersonation, doing Christopher Reeves proud.
The tourism board, thank you very much. And if you want to ride the Beast when you get out to Puerto Rico, hunt down Toro Verde Canopy. That's where you're going to get that ride. Toro Verde Canopy. Unbelievable. The best 60 seconds of your life could be had.
Meanwhile, back here on the beach at Middles, this is the 2011 IBA Encanto Pro Puerto Rico. We have an amazing setup here. We've had great waves so far. Waves are supposed to get bigger and better. The level of riding is going to be insane, Manny.
That's the beauty about this year's event. All these top riders wanted a world tour. They wanted a world tour in waves that are of consequence, where they can actually hit the lip and pull off these big maneuvers that they do during their free surf session in sizable waves. And this year, they've been very fortunate. They've had waves. They've had the opportunity to do the things they do, and all of the guys are stoked. And the Encanto Pro Puerto Rico, no different. Definitely waves in the lineup, and the guys are hungry. Coming up next, heat number 8, Amaury Laverhne, Damian King, Yeray Martinez, and Joe Grodzen. So the last heat finished off. For sure, Dave Winchester taking that heat number 7. Shaggy's going to meet up with him downstairs and for a quick little interview. In the meantime, we have heat number 8 out in the water. Amaury Laverhne, your current world champion. Damian King, he's on that bottom half where he may lose his seating in the 2012 World Tour. Yeray Martinez from the Canary Islands, and Joe Grodzen, the wild card from California.
Yes, right now Damian King currently sitting 20th on the Grand Slam Series Men's World Tour. For those of you not familiar with the way the World Tour works, there is a global qualifying series, and there is the Grand Slam Series. The qualifying series feeds into the Grand Slam Series.
A 2-tier system.
It's a 2-tier development system that feeds riders into the top level of the World Tour. And the top 24 guys on the GSS, the top 16 will stay, the bottom 8 drop out, and the top 8 from the qualifier series move up the next year. Right now, Kingy sitting 20th. He's on the outside looking in. He really needs to pull off something big in these next 2 events here in Puerto Rico and the season finale in the Canary Islands at Fronton if he wants to have any shot of eking back into that top 16 and staying on the Grand Slam series for 2012.
And Terry McKenna also touched on Mike Stewart, where Mike Stewart's on that bottom half where he could also be facing going to a qualifying series for the first time ever. So having the legend himself start, there's a lot of things at play here at the Encanto Pro Puerto Rico. So it's all going to pan out in these first 3 heats. So stay tuned. Today we're going to finish off with this heat out in the water. Tomorrow or the next day, actually just subscribe to YouTube or keep on tune, IBAWorldTour.com. You know what? Twitter and YouTube, those are your 2 best friends. Facebook, you're going to get everything. But this one right here, youtube.com, IBA World Tour, that's where you're going to get the latest and greatest video action, including heat-by-heat plays, highlights, and everything else from the IBA World Tour. If you haven't already subscribed, do it today.
Yes, and also don't forget, for all the latest news updates, all the latest articles, be sure to go to IBAWorldTour.com. And on a side note, since we're here in beautiful Puerto Rico, don't forget www.seapuertorico.com. All the information you need, all the history of this amazing island. If you need to plan a trip, you want to get away for a weekend or a week or 2 weeks, you want to escape the cold winter weather in the U.S., by all means, check out seapuertorico.com, see for yourself. Be sure to book a ticket and get your butt down here because this place is phenomenal.
It's only 3 hours from New York. I can't believe that.
Yes.
It took me 6 hours from San Diego. So a 6-hour flight to paradise, yes, I'm in.
There's a lot of U.S. East Coasters that make their great escape down here. They'll watch the weather patterns and book tickets so they can cruise down here to Isabella, cruise the jungles, head up into the mountain, beautiful scenery everywhere. It's known for how beautiful it is, the waves, the landscapes.
This is where the jungle meets the beautiful ocean, and it's about everything, the whole vibe. These horses are actually in our hotel, out in front of our hotel room. I was walking to my room yesterday, and the horse is eating grass right in front of my door. Check it out, live action. Big roll right there, Joe Grodzen. Little bumpy, you can see the little bump coming up off the water. That is probably coming from the rock down the beach. And another roll, weird roll from Joe Grodzen. Kind of like a horizontal roll. I don't know, a Daniel Kaimi roll, aerial Daniel Kaimi roll right there from Joe Grodzen.
We were talking about Puerto Rico when Joe Grodzen caught this wave. Joe practically considers Puerto Rico home away from home. He spends his time in California, but he gets down here to Puerto Rico as much as possible. And a big part of that is because the people of Puerto Rico are very inviting. It's a very warm, friendly place. It's one of the liveliest cultures in all of the Caribbean. It's unbelievable. Sometimes it leaves me at a loss for words, Manny.
Well, you know what? The one thing that I really loved before I got to Puerto Rico, and these guys were just cruising in the fire hydrant, opened it up, and it was hot, and they opened it up and had a great time. But I was going to say, the hospitality has been absolutely amazing. Before I even got to the island, everybody was saying, welcome to Puerto Rico. And it's just pretty laid back, really cool. And San Juan, full of color. The whole island is full of color. And yes, you can walk around with aluminum bats in the middle of town. Yes,
the culture, the heritage, the combination of Spanish, African, and Taino culture, unbelievable. They can see out in the water, floating around, waiting for a wave. Yeray Martinez in the yellow jersey, Amaury Laverhne in red from Reunion, Damian King, the two-time world champ from Australia, in the white jersey, and Joe Grodzen, the U.S. wild card. Joe getting on the board first with a 4.75. Meanwhile, the other guy's kind of hanging out, a little bit of a lull in the action.
Whew, it's starting to steam up here in the competitors area. It's pretty humid here in Puerto Rico, down on the beach. Right now there is 0 wind, so we're in a humid area and no wind. The sweat just starts pouring out of you. And
That's
when
right.
you're out in the water, you have no idea that you're sweating, and you lose energy, you lose water. But these riders at this level, they know how to keep hydrated.
Yes, you definitely need to make sure you stay hydrated. But one of the beautiful things about here, Manny, not only is the weather nice and warm and you can cruise around in shorts and T-shirt and flops, the water temperature is like 85 degrees. What's the water temperature back in California right now?
Luckily, it's in the high 60s, so it's not too bad.
You got me beat.
I'm still trunking it, but I know New Jersey is just an ice cube in the water.
New Jersey currently it's like 53-degree water temperatures, but the air temps have been dropping down into the 20s and 30s at night.
I'm going to say pass on that one.
Yeah.
Check it out. We do have Shaggy and the winner of the last heat, Dave Winchester. Shaggy, where you at, brother?
Guys, I'm down here with Winnie, winner of the last heat. That was an amazing heat. And Winnie, talk us about that huge invert you did.
Yeah, the wave just came through, and I knew it was going to bowl, and Novi really didn't want it, or didn't want to snake me or whatever. And it was my first prone wave, and I just saw it bowling up, so I hit it, and when I landed, it was a bit of a bone rattler.
Yeah, a bit of a rib crusher.
Yeah, shook the heart in there, and gave me a little headache. It was nice.
And then you got caught inside for a couple of waves after that, or was that later on in the heat you got caught inside a couple, huh?
Yeah, later on I bailed, bit of a girl really. I just didn't want it to land on my back, so I bailed and my plug pulled through, so I was lucky enough to grab my board and get out there for another wave though.
Yeah, well, congratulations. Oh, and then you had that awesome air reverse, but congratulations on making your first round hit. Always good to get a first round off the back, eh?
Yeah, it is really good. I'd just like to say nice t-shirt, Shaggy.
Yeah, I know. There's plenty more on on www. But anyway, back to you guys. Who is that up there? Manny, I think. Yeah. See ya.
Awesome. It looks like the guys are having fun down there, and Shaggy's trying to get as much in as possible. He's like, oh, what about this? Oh, what about that? Winnie, definitely somebody with a lot of tricks up his sleeve to talk about. Here we go. Nice roll out the back. It's Kingy with a new haircut. This is the first time I'm seeing him on this trip. I actually owe his dad a bottle of rum, and that was the only way I could bribe him to get out to Puerto Rico. Kingy with a wave now on his scorecard. So, Jimbo, if you're out there, I will deliver the rum as soon as I see you guys. So, Kingy, new haircut. Kingy now is on the verge of losing his seed as well.
Yes, Damian King looking to try and hold on and get back into the top 16. They can see local breakwall, the Port Macquarie local. Two-time world champion. You know, this could very well be the first time that we see world champions like Damian King and Mike Stewart fall off the top tier of the World Tour. This has never happened before. You know, we've never seen guys on the verge with this new multi-tier system and the top 16 staying and the top 8 from the GSS filtering in and bumping out the lower 8. This is a first. This is a transition in the history of our sport. And Kingy doesn't want to be part of that footnote.
Unfortunately, it's looking like it might be, but this is a new thing. This is the new bodyboarding, and the two-tier system is unreal. Grand qualifying series, Grand Slam series, and separating them has probably been the best thing the IBA has put together.
So you really bribed his dad to come to Puerto Rico by offering rum.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So as soon as I see him, I have to hand over a bottle of rum to Jimbo.
Well, all right. If you're going to come to Puerto Rico, you got to hit up the rum. You are talking about a place that produces 70% of the rum consumed and sold in the U.S. Here we are, the leaderboard. Mitch Rollins on top. You can see all the guys with 6 points, the guys who won their heats. Mitch Rollins, again, scoring a perfect 10 in his heat. That helped propel him to the win in that heat. Again, a rundown of the heat winners: Winchester, Houston, Hubbard, Hardy, Luciano, and Bruno. And then going on down the leaderboard, the guys with 4 points finishing second in their heats. The guys with 2 points, you know, they finished third, kind of putting themselves a little bit behind the 8 ball, so to speak. And then the guys with 1 point in their heat, you know, they're really got an uphill battle. That's going to be a tough one.
Okay, the way it's situated here, round 1 is what you saw today. The next set of heats is going to be round 2, and then we're going to have another round of heats, and that is round 3. Those first 3 rounds are called leaderboard rounds. And the way they got 6 points, 4, 2, or 1 point, is they're placing in that heat. First place, 6 points. Second place, 4 points. Third place, 2 points. And fourth place, 1 point. At the end of the third heat, those points will be added. The top 16 will advance on, where they will go man on man.
And they can see at the bottom of the screen, Damian King scoring a 5.25 on his first ride. That will move him into first position ahead of Joe Grodzen, the American wild card from California, who has a 4.75. We are still waiting for the defending world champ, Amaury Laverhne from Reunion Island, to get on the board. Meanwhile, Kingy up and riding on his second wave.
Yep, he decides to go left on his way, paddling back out. Oh, cranks a nice, hard, fashionable reverse off the top from Kingy. Great move right there. And it is Yeray Martinez in the yellow jersey going right, doing a nice roll right there from the water camera angle. And let me tell you, I would not want to be on the back of that jet ski when the waves are this big. Seamus Maycomb putting all trust into the driver to make sure he gets him out of the way if the waves come. So great angle right there from Seamus Maycomb. Nice wave exchange from the riders.
Yes, so waiting the secondary score from Damian King, Yeray Martinez getting on the board. So we're just waiting to see Amaury Laverhne get his first wave. Here's the replay of Damian King. Nice hard reverse off the top. Caught a little bit of air coming on down. Nice solid maneuvering from Kingy.
Oh, here we go. Out the back, Amaury on his first wave. Nice slow motion cylindrical roll off the top. The white frothy wave not dampering that maneuver. But it was only a one maneuver wave for Amaury Laverhne.
All right, so there we go. We now have all the riders in this heat on the board. Here's a replay of our defending world champ.
Yes, Amaury busting through the lip right there. That is a roll right there coming out of the wave, and that's all she wrote for Amaury. It's not going to be a high-scoring wave, but it's something on his heat sheet. This is the first time that it took 10 minutes before any one of the riders has caught a wave. It took Amaury half the heat, 15 minutes into the heat, to catch his first wave. But again, he has been in this situation before. He is your current 2010 world champ. This is Amaury Laverhne from the island of Reunion Island. We just came from there, and let me just say, there's not too many places that are as beautiful as Reunion Island, and Puerto Rico may be head-to-head with that challenge.
Yes, Amaury Laverhne coming into this event currently ranked 4th on the World Tour. He's in that group of riders that still has an outside chance of catching Jeff Hubbard for the world title, but he needs a few things to happen here at this event to stay in the running. For those of you, for those of you watching at home, if you go to IBAWorldTour.com.
Whoa. Look at this nice little cover-up. Comes out with a tight spin in the face. Damian King putting out all the stops right now. Kinging all the way, winding into the inside. Nice carbon reverse. Unbelievable. Sorry to cut you off, but Kingy up and riding. It looked like we're seeing a refreshed Kingy on this first heat.
Yeah, Kingy with a nice combination of maneuvers on that wave. We'll see how that plays into his scores. Yeah, Kingy's looking like he's a little more motivated. He's kind of been he's struggled at a few contests this year. Well,
this right here, it looked like the old Kingy that we all love to see. It's just cool, calm, relaxed, perfect barrel riding. Comes out with a nice. That's his textbook maneuver, is a spin in the pocket on the way out of a barrel, and he just put together a nice, clean wave on the. So props to Kingy.
Yeah, Kingy with tied together that forward out of the barrel to reverse, very clean. And then we just had a rider there waiting to see the scores. You can see the sets coming through. It's an interesting scenario with these guys. I mean, Yeray, Kingy, looking to stay on the Grand Slam Series tour. Amaury trying to stay in the hunt for the world title, defend his title. And then you've got the wild card, Joe Grodzen. Joe Grodzen has been around for a while. He's one of the true, I guess, standards you could say for the California contingent. Representing the west coast of the mainland U.S. for quite a few years now. Good friend of yours. Give us a little insight on Joe Grodzen.
Well, Grodzen has always been like a contest machine. He'll show up at a contest and he'll play the cool, calm competitor, but then he starts getting in your mind and starts talking to you. I think I've lost the joke a couple times about it. I don't think he does it intentionally. He's just out there having a good time, but he needs to pick it up right now. Currently in 4th place.
Yes, right now out in the water we have Damian King in the lead with a combined 11.25 on his 2 scores. Sitting in second with an 8.25 combined, Yeray Martinez, and then Amaury Laverhne with a 5.1, and Joe Grodzen with a 4.75. So, that's a quick rundown of how we have things out in the water. Yeray from the Canary Islands, we were talking earlier, he's training to be a police officer in the Canaries. He actually missed an event earlier this year because he was at the police academy.
Unreal. Well, you know what? Hopefully he doesn't have his baton or pistol belt on, because he actually hit the reef. And if he had his gun, he probably would have shot the reef or beaten him down. This wave is actually pretty dangerous. I mean, he was just paddling out, and a bomb set came on his head and just slammed him against the bottom, actually opened up the back of his head, and he was bleeding and hurt his arm as well. This was just a couple days ago while training.
Well, keep in mind, he is a local at Fronton in the Canary Islands. Fronton, one of the heaviest waves in the world. So, I'm sure he's used to getting the occasional humility check from Mother Nature out in the lineup.
Exactly. And actually, one of his friends actually shrugged his shoulders and said, "Hey, how did you get hurt here? You ride Fronton." And you know what? You can never put your guard down. Check this out. Another view from the competitors' area. All the boys keeping their eyes out on this last heat. Look at this, red. I believe that's who they're watching, Amaury Laverhne.
Amaury with a nice clean roll off of that section, and it's going to shut down on. That's another one maneuver wave for Amaury. Trying to put something together, but it seems like the conditions aren't really working with him so far. His wave selection, the waves are shutting down on him, so he's getting one maneuver. Here you can see again on the replay. Driving down the line, hits the roll. Nice clean landing after the solid projection, but then this wave is just going to shut down around him, and that's all she wrote.
There's Seamus Makem out on the jet ski right now, and you know what? He loves it out there. Seamus Makem. So,
I give Seamus a lot of credit. To be out in the water for extended periods of time like he's done all year for the World Tour. I mean, there's been days where he's out in the water for 8 hours with that heavy water housing. I don't know how his arms don't fall off or his body becomes totally waterlocked.
I don't either. He must have a pretty strict diet. Probably not as strict as this guy, though. Amaury Laverhne paddling out. Currently in first place with 12.1. 11.25 is what Kingy is sitting on. Yeray Martinez, 8.25, and Joe Grodzen, 4.75. So 9 minutes, 52 seconds remaining in this heat, and about 15 minutes remaining in today's live broadcast. There is more action going to go down, but we're going to give you the highlight reels of that later on tonight. So stay tuned on YouTube.com/IBA World Tour. Again, subscribe to this YouTube channel, because that's where you're going to get the latest and greatest video feed or videos from the IBA Tour production crew.
Yes, all of our media, youtube.com/IBA World Tour, IBAWorldTour.com. And also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, where we have just gone over 18,000 friends on the IBA Facebook page.
That's it? We need at least 65.
So, you know what? If you haven't
million.
friended the IBA on Facebook, be sure to do so. We would love to break 19,000 by the end of this competition.
And if we're really feeling really good, let's get it up to 65 million by the end of the year.
Sounds like a plan, Manny.
There you go. This is what's happening in the water with 8 minutes, 40 seconds remaining.
Amaury Laverhne, even though he's only had a couple of one maneuver waves, he's been able to put together 12.1 and the lead at the moment. He's followed by Damian King, Yeray Martinez, and Joe Grodzen. There you can see these guys were out in the water earlier this morning. The legend and the student, Mike Stewart, science team rider Tom Rigby. Stewart, the absolute legend. That's all you need to say about him. Tom Rigby, the up-and-comer from Port Macquarie, Australia. This kid's got a really bright future, and being under the tutelage of Mike Stewart, I mean, the future's wide open. There you can see another science team rider, Magno Oliveira from Brazil. Mike Stewart has assembled one heck of an international bodyboarding team. not only is he one of the best in the world, but now he has one of the best teams in the world.
Well, he has an eye. He sees the talent, and he tries his best to help groom it. Here we go, up and riding. Amaury Laverhne. Nice invert right there from Amaury. Really smooth, technical rider. Amaury Laverhne from the Reunion Island in the red jersey adds on to his lead. Here we go. Damian King in white.
Damian King right behind him, driving through the barrel section, and doesn't look like he's going to find the doggy door on that one.
Oh, you're crazy, man.
So here we have a quick replay of Amaury's last wave.
All right, Amaury bottom turning, going straight for the one maneuver. Tweaks a nice invert right there, lands in the whitewash perfectly, rides it out. Amaury Laverhne, easy, out.
So quick wave exchange there between the current world champion and the former two-time world champion out in the water. And now up and riding, Joe Grodzen in the black from California. Joe driving down the line, drops down to the bottom, tucks into the pocket, looking for a nice section, gets the roll off, and still going and playing around at the end of that one. Just throws his board up and spins it in the air.
I think he's just happy to be in Puerto Rico.
Oh, totally. Anytime Joe has a chance to get down to Puerto Rico, he takes full advantage of it. And even out here for an international event, he's having fun. Up and riding on the right, Yeray Martinez comes off the bottom, throws a nice pocket spin, driving down the line. Manny, where are we at?
Oh, goes through the lip. Nice roll right there and cuts out. But, again, big wave rider in these conditions. This is what you get.
And here's a replay of that last wave for Yeray Martinez in the yellow jersey from the Canary Islands. Drops in, comes off the bottom, throws into a nice, clean, smooth pocket spin, gets a little bit of a cover-up, kind of an in and out, drives down the line, and boom, punches the roll through the lip. Nice solid wave there for Yeray.
All right, Yeray Martinez from the Canary Islands bumps up into second place, knocking Damian King down into third place. Joe Grodzen sitting steady in fourth. Amaury Laverhne, 2 7-point waves, and he's holding steady up in first place. So Yeray Martinez bumping up into second place. So big shout out to our sponsors, El Nuevo Dia newspaper here in Puerto Rico. Gasolina, party in a pouch. It's the official drink. It's the official drink, and it's an alcoholic drink. I had to test it out last night, and it worked. Look at this, live action.
Up and riding, Kingy with a nice invert off of that section, drives around, trying to set it up, and it's going to shut down on him. He's going to get pinched on that section. So there you see him bouncing through the whitewater. But on the opening maneuver, the primary maneuver on that wave on the outside, a nice invert from Kingy.
All right, let me attack this list real quick. ATH Evertech, Parador Villas del Mar Jau. That's the official hotel where we're all staying, and let me tell you, it's unbelievable. Claro, they are bringing us the single to broadcast the event. La X, it's a pretty cool radio station here in town, and let's take another look of this wave. Damian King.
Here you can see Kingy dropping down, driving off the bottom, eyeing that section, and look at this. Perfect timing. Boom. Full extension. Tweaks the board almost 3/4 of the way around, comes down, sticks the landing. That was a nice invert from Kingy.
Kingy putting something together. Is that going to help him? He needed a 7.75 to knock out Yeray and Amaury and go into that first place position, but only needed a 6.65 for second place. Did he do it? We will see. All right. Claro, bringing us the signal to broadcast the event. La X radio station, Sprite, Vitamin Water, Garnier, GoPrint, and Puerto Rico Wire. Thank you guys for the support, and we'll run down that list before we sign off again today. 3 minutes, 55 seconds remaining, and there you have it. Amaury Laverhne still leading the charge.
Amaury Laverhne in the red jersey, currently sitting in first. Yeray Martinez in yellow in second. Damian King from Australia in the white jerseys, currently sitting third, and Joe Grodzen from California in the black jersey is sitting fourth at the moment. We have about 3.5 minutes remaining, and while I have the opportunity, I'd like to say hello to my wife. I tried to do so earlier, but there was some action out in the water. Oi, Kika, I miss you. And I'm sure Manny would like to give a quick little shout to his wife.
Of course. Hey, babe.
So you got to say hi to the better halves. And meanwhile, out in the water, you can see Damian King in the white jersey waving his hand, trying to get the attention of the beach marshal and the beach announcer. You can see a nice water feed of Damian King out in the water. And there's a clip of the competitors' tent, a who's who in the world of international bodyboarding. Novi, Hardy, Stewart, Rigby, Hub, you name it, they're all here on the beach in Isabela, Puerto Rico at Middles. This is the 2011 IBA and Canto Pro Puerto Rico.
Joe Grodzen carving off the top, trying to spin around a clean reverse, and he does. And that's all she wrote for Grodzen on that one.
So Joe getting his third wave under his belt. We'll see what they score him on that. Here's a replay. Joe, nice little left, driving down the line. Adjusts his weight and changes his line. Throws it to the reverse. Meanwhile, here's Amaury.
Live action, nice tight spin under the lip. Pulls into the barrel. Can he make it out? Does it stay open? Whoa, he finds a little exit somehow and comes out in front of the wave. When you pull into the barrel, it's almost impossible if it closes out to make it out in one piece. And he pulls it off. Let's take another look.
They can see Amaury with the spin in the pocket, sets up perfectly, pulls into the barrel. You can see the shadow of his red jersey back there, super deep. Here he is still racing it, and he manages to slip out, comes out through the white water. And that's when you're in the barrel like that, that's where you're just like, not going to make it, gonna make it, I see daylight, and boom, you're out. Sometimes, you just got to hold on and pray for the best, Manny. And there you can see Amaury paddling back out after that nice little barrel. Amaury going to score a 6.7 on that wave.
If these guys, Yeray Martinez, Damian King, Joe Grodzen, want to take out Amaury Laverhne, they have to score at least a 7.76 is what Kingy has to do. Yeray, a 7.85, and Joe Grodzen needs a perfect 10 for that first place spot. You know what? 1 minute remaining, and anything is possible. We saw it earlier. Jeff Hubbard coming back from behind and pulls off a win in his heat.
They can see Kingy paddling over that one. He looks like he's on the hunt out there. It's been a while since I've seen Kingy come out this aggressive in the first round. It's actually really cool to see.
All right, check this guy out. It is Yeray Martinez. And Yeray Martinez stalls on the bottom turn, tries to find that section. You can see him dragging his legs on that bottom turn, or actually on the drop. And there's not much there from Yeray Martinez. And that all she wrote for Yeray. That might be, unless King can pull off a 7.76 or 6.65 on that wave, which he did not. This might be where we settle the score for this heat.
Yeah, we're counting down the last 10 seconds, and it's Amaury Laverhne in the lead. He's going to score the 6 points for the win in this heat, round one.
Yeray Martinez will be awarded 4 points for his second place finish. Kingy with 2, and Joe Grodzen will get 1 point for his fourth place finish. So round one of the main event leaderboard rounds is complete, and it was pretty exciting.
We've seen some solid action out there. There you can see the rundown. Amaury, Yeray, Damian, and Joe Grodzen. We've seen some really cool stuff out in the water this morning. I mean, it's been unbelievable nonstop action, stacked heats for every round.
There's a 10-point ride today.
We saw 9-point-plus rides from guys. We saw a perfect 10 from Mitch Rollins. It's just been unbelievable out there. And this is only round one. Round two and round three, it's only going to get more intense, bigger swell. I can't wait to see what the next couple of days hold in store for us, Manny.